Royal Ascot has finally arrived, and Gay and Claudia have been over in the UK. We were lucky enough to secure two horses at the prestigious Goffs London sale. This is a sale unlike any other, staged at Kensington Palace. And one of the exciting horses that we were lucky enough to secure was Cuban Dawn for £300,000. Cuban Dawn is a 3-year-old colt by Teofilo, who has been trained by Jim Bolger, who is a master of Irish racing over in Ireland. We had a huge update on him overnight with Paddington winning the Group 1 St. James Palace Stakes. Cuban Dawn actually finished behind him on his first start. So Bruce, can you please tell us about this form update we had overnight?
It's great to join you on the Zoom today. Great to be talking about Cuban Dawn. Big result landing that horse, I thought, on Monday, and then Tuesday, form franked again. Robert Waterhouse, you absolute genius. Paddington coming out and stamping himself as the best 3-year-old in Europe. Of course, Paddington was the horse that beat Cuban Dawn on debut in the stakes race, the Tetrarch Stakes. He's come out and then won the Irish 2,000 guineas. And last night at Royal Ascot, the big match race with the English 2,000 guineas winner, he's knocked him off easily in the St. James's Palace. And like I say, he's the best 3-year-old and possibly one of the most exciting horses in Europe right now. So we've got Cuban Dawn secured, which is really exciting, and probably a good opportunity now to just talk through each of his races. His first race wasn't a Tetrarch, like I said. Paddington wins this race. You can see Cuban Dawn making good solid ground late. I think important to note here too, that the second horse in this race, Drumroll, has also come out since the start and won a Group 3 race at the Curragh. So the first two horses in this race, both now Group winners. Pretty exciting.
When you look at his second race, he stayed at the mile, and he was beaten just a neck by Harbour Wind. So I think from looking back on his race replays, you can see he's still quite green, a bit unsure of himself. And the jockey, when he does ask him to pick up in that last furlong, you can really see his turn of foot. And him and Harbour Wind break away from the rest of the field, and they're neck and neck, and they really left the rest of the field behind them. And Harbour Wind has since gone on to come second to Pivotal Trigger, who's a nice 3-year-old colt by Pivotal, who has won 2 of his starts and placed in 2 of his 6 starts to date. So the form around that race is quite nice as well. And I think that he'll enjoy stepping up in trip. He's just stayed over the mile for his 3 starts.
Yeah, well said, Emma. I think that's the big thing about this horse. His first 3 starts have all been at a mile. We'll see in his third race here again. He's hitting the line strongly. He's crying out for the 2,000 metres, and he will get that on Saturday at Royal Ascot. That is the big exciting thing here, I think, is that, this is a horse that obviously with a lot of excitement for in terms of his Australian racing career, but the owner's jumping in now, all the hard work's done, and we get the bonus of him running on Saturday at Royal Ascot before he comes to Australia for you too.
Yes, so Jim was in contact with Gay, and Cuban Dawn had his final piece of work yesterday. Jim said his action was beautiful. He's pulled up very well, and he's in great order ahead of Saturday. So
yeah, I think you can see in the video here, he's a beautiful specimen. Team Valley, managed by Richard Ryan. These are very, very smart operators, and they buy obviously gorgeous types, but they're getting a lot of success on the racetrack, and they've had a lot of success in Australia. Behind me, State of Rest won the Cox Plate, of course, in the Thames Valley colours. They've also got Numerian down here, who won the Q22 a couple of times, Group 1 placed out here, winning just under $2 million for Thames Valley as well. So they've only raced 2 in Australia so far. One Group 1 winner, one $2 million earner. So lovely to have for them to show the faith and keep a piece of this horse. And just touching back on pedigree, as you've mentioned, everything about him, I think, Emma, on pedigree just says he's going to improve with age and over ground. He's got a double cross of Galileo. He's by a Group 1 side, Teofilo, who's been so successful out here. Of course, he's side 2 Melbourne Cup winners in Australia, including Twilight Payment, including Cross Counter, but also class horses, in those middle distance ranges like Happy Clapper, like Humidor, like Palantino, Kermadec. So we know he gets some proper horses out here, which is great. And just important to note, he's only 3, Emma. He's only like a spring 3-year-old essentially by Northern Hemisphere standards. So we're basically looking at a horse here that's had 3 starts. He's a maiden. All his wins going forward are yours as a new owner. And he's only in the spring of his 3-year-old year. He's got it all ahead of him.
This is a colt that has so much racing upside. He has been given the biggest green tick from Rob Waterhouse on form, from Gay Waterhouse, and from Adrian Bott himself. This is a very rare opportunity to have a horse racing on what is the biggest international stage our industry has to offer. So if you do want to get involved, we have some limited shares remaining. So please get in touch with myself, Bruce, or if you're over in England, please give Claudia a call, because we would love to have you involved in this very exciting opportunity.